The story of Kin's meteorite discovery has taken yet another extraordinary turn, as an official statement has now been released by the Metropolitan Natural Park. The announcement, translated from Spanish, directly addresses the claims made by Kin's viral TikTok videos, which have captivated hundreds of thousands of viewers worldwide. In these videos, Kin documented what he described as the crash of a meteorite in the area of Bunker 1002, also known as El Castillo. From the meteorite, he claimed to have released a strange, black, alien-like substance that seemed alive, growing and even moving independently. His footage sparked international fascination, but also alarm. The new statement from the authorities categorically denies everything. According to the official release, there was no meteorite, no extraterrestrial presence, and no event of this nature in the Metropolitan Natural Park. They emphasized that the bunker is a restricted area, closed to the public, and that unauthorized entry is both unsafe and a violation of the park's regulations. Furthermore, they described Kin's videos as purely fictional, a creative narrative that has been misinterpreted as reality. They urged calm, discouraged the spread of rumors, and asked content creators not to risk their own safety or mislead others by entering restricted areas or releasing speculative content. Yet, despite the clarity of the statement, public reaction has been anything but calm. Many who have followed Kin's story closely believe the announcement itself is evidence of a cover-up. To them, the timing is too convenient. Just as Kin's videos began gaining global traction, and as discussions about the strange black substance intensified, authorities stepped in with a sweeping denial. Viewers noted that rather than silencing the speculation, the denial only fueled suspicion. If there truly was nothing in the park, they asked, why release such a strong statement urging people to stay away from the bunker? Theories quickly began circulating online. Some suggested that the authorities want the area clear of curious visitors so they can quietly retrieve the substance without being filmed. Others speculated that the creature Kin described might have escaped, and that officials are desperately trying to secure it before it spreads beyond containment. The restricted nature of the bunker only added fuel to the mystery. Why is this area closed to the public, and what exactly is being stored or hidden there? Kin himself has not wavered in his updates. He has continued to insist that what he discovered is real, and that the black entity was released into the wild. His claim that he has been approached by mysterious figures asking him to hand over the meteorite and its contents resonates strongly with those who already distrust official explanations. To many, the combination of Kin's warnings, his raw video evidence, and now the government's denial paints a clear picture. Something remarkable has been found, and steps are being taken to keep it out of public view. The public response has become a global phenomenon. Online discussions are divided into camps. The extraterrestrial camp points to the way the substance moves independently, as if with intent, arguing it cannot be explained by ordinary biology. The biological camp insists that it may be an undiscovered life form from Earth itself, perhaps carried inside the meteorite but still terrestrial in origin. The technological camp raises the possibility of it being engineered material, something far beyond current human science. No matter the theory, the central point remains the same. The substance is extraordinary, and denying its existence only strengthens the belief that its importance is being deliberately concealed. This situation mirrors countless stories throughout history where unusual discoveries vanish once officials become involved. From mysterious aerial phenomena to strange creatures, there is a long-standing perception that governments quickly classify and control anything that could disrupt conventional understanding of the world. To those who subscribe to this belief, the Metropolitan Natural Park statement fits the pattern perfectly. It urges calm, dismisses the discovery, and warns the public to stay away, all while leaving unanswered questions about what really lies in the bunker. For Kin's followers, the fact that he had to hide the entity in a safe, fearing it would be taken, is already proof of its significance. Each new video he posts attracts millions of views, and with each denial from officials, his credibility grows in the eyes of his audience. If the story were false, they argue, why would authorities go to such lengths to refute it? Why not simply ignore it? Instead, their emphatic denial and their request for people to avoid the area only heightens the intrigue. The ongoing mystery has become about more than just the black substance itself. It is now a story about secrecy, control, and the possibility that something extraordinary lies just beyond public reach. Whether extraterrestrial, biological, or technological, the entity represents the unknown, and the unknown always stirs both fear and wonder. The public's imagination has been captured, and for many, the denial has only strengthened their determination to seek the truth. Word of Kin's release of the strange black entity spread like wildfire, and almost immediately a new chapter of the story began. People planning to go to the site to film, document and, if possible, capture more footage of the creature. For many viewers who had watched Kin's videos from the start, the official denials only intensified conviction that something real was happening. Within hours, crowdsourcing threads, social posts, and private messages began to coordinate informal recon missions, while local residents quietly uploaded their own footage of the perimeter and approaches around the bunker. Those planning visits fall into several groups. The first are curious locals, residents who live within driving or walking distance and who feel compelled to see for themselves what Kin described. Their motivations are mixed. Some are motivated purely by curiosity, some hope to vindicate Kin, and others want the fame of landing a scoop before anyone else. A second group consists of amateur investigators and urban explorers, people who routinely document off-limits sites and post their findings. Local residents have played a surprising role. In the days after the release, multiple people who live near the park began posting short clips to social platforms showing boundary markers, locked gates, and the occasional park ranger car. These uploads are modest: handheld phone videos of scrubland, a rusted sign warning of restricted access, a narrow trail leading down toward a small pool of water, but their cumulative effect is significant. They give would-be visitors a basic sense of the terrain, the access points, and the distances involved. For many online viewers, these short local clips served as reconnaissance, helping plan routes that would avoid the most heavily monitored entrances. The rush to the site has also generated concern. Conservationists and some local residents have begged visitors not to trample fragile vegetation or to contaminate water sources. The Metropolitan Natural Park's official message that the bunker area is restricted continues to echo through comment threads and local community boards, and many conscientious would-be documentarians pledge to comply with the rules, filming from permitted vantage points, sharing footage responsibly, and reporting any genuinely hazardous observations to authorities rather than posting sensational content. Online reaction has been predictable and intense. Posts announcing planned excursions accumulate thousands of comments. Some cheer the effort, others warn against interference, and a growing faction advocates for bringing the footage to competent scientists rather than letting it play out as viral content. Several small teams have even announced plans to live-stream their attempts, promising real-time updates while urging viewers to stay patient and not to travel to the site themselves. Meanwhile, the footage locals have uploaded paints an ambiguous picture. Short clips of the shoreline near the small body of water show ripples and dark shapes beneath the surface, but the camera angles are usually too distant and the resolution too low to offer definitive proof of anything anomalous. Walk-through shots of trails and fences reveal no visible signs of recent disturbance, although some viewers insist they can see subtle marks on the mud or oddly depressed grass where something might have rested. The most compelling uploads are time-lapse sequences posted by a handful of residents who have set stationary cameras facing the pool. These clips occasionally show slight shifts in surface patterns or suggestive shapes moving beneath, but none provide the kind of close-up, high-resolution evidence that would satisfy serious skeptics. That ambiguity fuels both hope and caution. For those who want to believe, every new clip is a possible confirmation. For those who demand proof, the same footage is circumstantial at best. This tension has shaped the tone of the larger effort. While many teams plan to go in person, a not insubstantial number resolve to act only as observers, filming from legal vantage points or flying drones above permitted altitudes, and then turning over raw footage to independent labs for analysis. The coming days and weeks are likely to show whether these citizen efforts yield anything significant. If a clear close-up of the entity surfaces, the implications would be enormous. It would transform a viral story into a matter for formal scientific inquiry and official oversight. If nothing is found, however, the pattern will repeat itself. Disappointment, conspiracy claims, and renewed questions about the power and limits of viral spectacle. Either way, The episode demonstrates how a single social media narrative can turn ordinary people into investigators and public green spaces into contested landscapes of curiosity and concern. On January 29th, a man took to Reddit to share an astonishing experience, one that would provide some of the clearest footage ever recorded of a UFO. His goal had been simple: to capture high-quality 4K footage of an unidentified flying object. Armed with a Nikon P1000, one of the most powerful consumer cameras available, he set out to meet an individual who claimed to have the ability to summon a UFO. What followed was an encounter that defied all conventional explanations and left him with undeniable visual evidence of a mysterious silver orb hovering in the sky. The man's journey took him to South Downs National Park, a sprawling area covering 1,600 square kilometers or 628 square miles in southern England. Known for its open landscapes, rolling hills, and vast skies, the location provided an ideal setting for capturing aerial phenomena. Upon arriving, he prepared his equipment and waited for what he hoped would be a UFO. The individual he met had assured him that UFOs could be summoned, and the man was both skeptical and excited to see whether such a claim could hold any weight. Within moments of setting up, the event began to unfold. Hovering in the sky was a silver orb-shaped object, moving in ways that defied conventional aerodynamics. Unlike a balloon or a piece of debris, which would drift with the wind or follow predictable flight paths, this object exhibited controlled, intelligent movement. The man described how the UFO dropped, then ascended again, moving sideways in a manner inconsistent with any known aircraft or natural airborne object. Capturing this incredible sight, he used both his Nikon P1000 and his iPhone, ensuring that multiple recordings were taken for verification. Over the course of 20 minutes, the object remained visible, hovering in place despite a reported wind speed of 10 miles per hour. According to his calculations, an object caught in a 10-mile-per-hour wind should have drifted at least 2.17 miles over 13 minutes, yet this UFO stayed in the same location. The fact that it remained stationary for such an extended period, unaffected by natural forces, ruled out the possibility of it being something as simple as a weather balloon. The man and his companion were present for a total of 30 minutes, recording the UFO for the majority of that time. Despite the wind, it did not move miles away as any conventional object would have, reinforcing the idea that this was something truly anomalous. The footage itself is described as high quality, making it one of the best documented sightings in recent history. The clarity of the video eliminates common skepticism associated with blurry or low-resolution UFO footage. The man emphasized that anyone who sees the footage would immediately recognize that this was not a conventional aircraft, drone, or atmospheric phenomenon. The way the object moved, dropping, ascending, shifting sideways, suggested a level of controlled motion that defied explanation. Many UFO skeptics argue that most sightings can be explained by misidentifications, weather conditions, or man-made technology. However, this particular sighting challenges those explanations. A drone, for instance, would have been easily identified based on its structure, movement patterns, and sound. A balloon, subjected to wind currents, would have drifted away rather than staying locked in place. Natural airborne objects, such as birds or debris, would not exhibit the precise and seemingly intelligent movement captured in the footage. The location of the sighting adds another layer of intrigue. South Downs National Park is a remote, open area with minimal interference from city lights or high air traffic. Unlike urban environments where drone activity is common, this location reduces the likelihood that the object was a standard human-made aerial vehicle. Furthermore, the presence of an individual who claimed to have the ability to summon UFOs raises even more questions. If such an ability is real, does it imply that these objects are responding to human presence or intent? This sighting also follows a pattern seen in many previous UFO encounters, where witnesses describe metallic, orb-like objects capable of remarkable maneuvers. The description of the silver orb aligns with numerous credible reports from pilots, military personnel, and everyday observers who have described similar crafts exhibiting intelligent motion, hovering capabilities, and sudden changes in direction. This continuity across separate sightings strengthens the case that these objects are not mere misinterpretations, but are genuine, unexplained aerial phenomena. The man's decision to post his experience on Reddit speaks to the growing movement of citizen UFO researchers who are using modern technology to document the phenomenon. Unlike in previous decades, where reports relied solely on eyewitness testimony, today's sightings can be captured in high-definition video and shared instantly with the public. This democratization of evidence removes the possibility of government agencies suppressing or controlling the narrative around UFO encounters. Despite the compelling nature of where the subject is going, mainstream institutions remain hesitant to engage with these cases seriously. The reluctance to investigate such well-documented sightings only fuels speculation that there may be a broader effort to downplay or dismiss credible UFO encounters. The man's experience in South Downs National Park raises profound questions about the nature of these objects and their purpose. If UFOs can indeed be summoned, what does that say about their awareness of human observers? The recent high-quality footage of a silver orb-shaped UFO captured at South Downs National Park represents a significant step forward in UFO research and public awareness. For decades, blurry, grainy, and often unconvincing UFO footage has dominated the conversation, making it easy for skeptics to dismiss sightings as misidentifications or hoaxes. However, as camera technology improves, the ability to capture clear, undeniable evidence is becoming more accessible, and this latest video is a prime example of how the topic of UFOs is evolving. One of the biggest challenges in UFO research has been the lack of clear footage. Many of the most famous UFO videos throughout history have been degraded by poor camera quality, shaky hands, or insufficient zoom capabilities. Traditional phone cameras struggle to capture distant and fast-moving objects, leading to underwhelming and inconclusive videos. Many have often pointed to the poor quality of these recordings as proof that there is nothing extraordinary about the objects being seen, but with devices like the Nikon P1000, which was used in the South Downs sighting, this narrative is beginning to change. The Nikon P1000 is one of the most powerful consumer cameras available, capable of 125 optical zoom and 4K ultra-high definition recording. Unlike standard smartphones, which have limited zoom and focus capabilities, this camera allows users to capture distant objects with remarkable clarity. This means that, for the first time, UFO footage is approaching a level of quality that can no longer be easily dismissed. As more people begin to use high-quality cameras, the likelihood of obtaining undeniable evidence increases dramatically. The South Downs footage is just one example of a growing trend. In recent years, an increasing number of UFO videos have surfaced, taken with modern DSLR and mirrorless cameras, night vision equipment, and advanced smartphones. These videos provide a level of detail that was previously unheard of, offering clearer views of UFOs' shapes, movements, and even material composition. The more such footage emerges, the harder it becomes for skeptics to argue that all sightings can be attributed to balloons, drones, or atmospheric distortions. The significance of orb-shaped UFOs cannot be overstated. Unlike traditional disc-shaped or triangular UFOs, which gained popularity in the mid-20th century, orbs have been reported for centuries, long before the invention of airplanes or modern flying technology. This suggests that they are not simply mistaken military craft or experimental drones, but something that has been present throughout human history. Historical records, paintings, and even cave drawings have depicted glowing orbs in the sky, sometimes referred to as Foo Fighters during World War II. Pilots at the time frequently reported seeing mysterious glowing spheres following their aircraft at high speeds, displaying flight characteristics that defied known physics. These sightings were taken seriously, with military intelligence agencies conducting investigations into their nature. Even today, military personnel and commercial airline pilots continue to report sightings of orb-shaped UFOs, often describing them as silent, highly maneuverable, and capable of sudden acceleration beyond human-made technology. One of the most compelling aspects of modern orb UFO sightings is their consistency across different locations, witnesses, and time periods. The South Downs footage adds to a growing body of evidence that these objects are being seen worldwide. They have been reported hovering over cities, flying at incredible speeds, and even entering and exiting large bodies of water, something that defies conventional aircraft capabilities. If these objects were simply misidentified drones or atmospheric phenomena, They would not share such consistent patterns across different decades and continents. What makes this recent footage even more important is the credibility of many modern UFO witnesses. The combination of high-quality footage and credible witnesses is helping to change the way UFOs are perceived. Governments around the world are beginning to acknowledge the reality of unidentified aerial phenomena, with official task forces and studies being launched to understand their nature. As more videos like the South Downs sighting surface, the UFO debate is shifting. Rather than arguing whether UFOs exist, the conversation is now turning toward what they are and where they come from. Are they advanced technology operated by an unknown intelligence? Regardless of the answer, what is becoming clear is that UFOs can no longer be ignored or dismissed. The days of grainy, shaky, easily dismissed footage are coming to an end. With advanced cameras and growing public awareness, the evidence is mounting. Videos like the one from South Downs bring us closer to unraveling the greatest mystery of our time. Reports of orb-shaped UFOs date back centuries, long before the invention of modern aircraft. Historical accounts describe mysterious balls of light appearing in the sky, sometimes interacting with people and objects on the ground. In modern times, the orb UFO phenomenon has become even more widespread. Civilians, airline pilots, and military personnel have all reported seeing these spherical craft moving silently through the sky. Unlike drones or aircraft, orbs do not produce any visible means of propulsion. They can hover motionless, dart away at incredible speeds, or perform maneuvers that would be impossible for any known human technology. Some have been seen pulsating or shifting in color, further adding to their mystery. These unique characteristics suggest that these objects are not simply misidentified weather balloons, satellites, or aircraft, but something far more advanced. One of the most compelling aspects of orb sightings is their recurring presence over military bases and nuclear facilities. In numerous cases, these objects have been observed hovering above top-secret installations, raising concerns among military officials. One well-documented incident occurred in Montana's Malmstrom Air Force Base in 1967, when a glowing orb was seen hovering over a nuclear missile site. Shortly after the sighting, the missile control systems mysteriously shut down, rendering the base temporarily inoperative. The incident was investigated, and no technical explanation was ever found for the failure. Similar events have been reported at other nuclear facilities, suggesting that these orbs have a specific interest in nuclear technology. In more recent years, orbs have been seen over active conflict zones. Reports from the Middle East describe bright, fast-moving spheres that evade radar detection and appear to observe military operations. Some speculate that these objects are monitoring human activity, while others believe they could be extraterrestrial reconnaissance probes. Military officials have remained largely silent about these encounters, fueling speculation about what these orbs truly are. While the true nature of these orb UFOs remains unknown, many theories have emerged. Some believe they could be advanced surveillance drones, either of human or non-human origin. If these objects are not of this Earth, they could represent extraterrestrial technology far beyond our understanding. The ability to hover without sound, move at extreme speeds, and evade detection suggests that these objects operate on principles that defy our current understanding of physics. Another possibility is that these orbs are appearing and disappearing in ways that suggest they are not bound by the same physical laws as conventional objects. Some researchers speculate that they could be manifestations of an unknown energy source, possibly related to consciousness itself. The fact that many orbs have been observed responding to human thought or intention adds another layer of mystery. In several reported cases, witnesses have described the orbs as interacting with them, changing color, or moving in specific directions as if responding to their presence. Despite the countless reports and government interest, the mainstream scientific community has yet to fully investigate the orb phenomenon. The lack of funding and the stigma surrounding UFO research have prevented serious scientific inquiry. However, as more high-resolution footage emerges and more credible witnesses come forward, it is becoming increasingly difficult to dismiss the reality of orb UFOs. The growing body of evidence suggests that these spherical craft are not only real, but are actively monitoring human activity, particularly around military and nuclear sites. Whether they are extraterrestrial probes, advanced human-made technology, or something entirely beyond our comprehension, their presence cannot be ignored. As governments, researchers, and everyday citizens continue to document and analyze these mysterious objects, we may be on the brink of one of the most profound discoveries in human history. Until then, orb UFOs remain one of the most compelling and perplexing aspects of the UFO phenomenon. Their ability to appear, disappear, and defy the known laws of physics challenges everything we know about aviation and intelligence. The future of UFO research is in high-resolution footage, credible witnesses, and scientific analysis. As technology advances, the ability to capture, analyze, and study these unidentified objects will only improve. With government agencies, military personnel, and civilians now all contributing to the growing body of evidence, the reality of UFOs is becoming undeniable.